You were born to thrive. You were born to feel alive. Every single second of your life, your life, your life, your life. Hello, hello to everybody. So we are Wednesday afternoon again, and I'm so excited to welcome you to this new episode of Success Stories of Expat Women series. My name is Eva Saunders. I am an inspiring songwriter and singer, and I'm also an empowerment coach. I love helping women to thrive professionally, especially after moving abroad. Because moving abroad, it seems like it's exciting in the beginning and it can very fast turn in something overwhelming where as a woman I can very easily lose confidence, which was my story. And when I lose confidence, when I feel lost, it's very hard to create a thriving professional life. And you don't need to remain at this place for a long time. So this is the why of this series, to inspire you, to motivate you. And I am very happy to welcome today Irina in our success stories. Hi Irina.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Welcome. So please let us start directly with your story. Where are you from and what brought you to Switzerland?
Right. Okay. So my story is start far away because I'm wise enough. So I'm Russian by origin, and long time ago, back in 1992, I moved to UK because my husband started to do PhD in Cambridge University. So we relocated as a young family. So we had a 2 years old daughter. So my first journey abroad was then. I arrived in England without any English, without any experience living abroad before.
And you're
Young,
a young mom as well.
young mom, yeah. So that was a huge experience. That was a really huge dive in. And so that was the first like a cold shower. So yes, it's
Okay.
nice, it's interesting, but when you realize you're not a tourist and you need to do something in a new country, that's
Yeah.
where it all starts, isn't it?
So
So it's
how
like,
did it went for you at the time? Because you were a young mom, so I suppose you were very busy. You were discovering a new country, new way of living. You didn't have your parents probably there to help you with
no
your
one, no
kids.
one, no
So
one.
how did you deal with being lonely, alone, and not speaking language? How did you deal with this?
It was tough. I think I just cried for 3 months
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
beginning because I thought, okay, I just can do it for 3 years. That's what is initial time period we came for. And I can do it for 3 years. But then you realized, okay, I mean, there is you need to do something. So
Yeah.
once you actually accept that situation, then
Mhm.
you become a proactive person. So my husband, of course, helped me enormously. So, and we were lucky because we lived in a community. So I don't know if maybe somebody is familiar. So in Cambridge you live in a college, and you live as a sort of a student from outside of the country in a college setting.
Okay.
So they had a like a flats for family students, and we had lots of children there. We had a common room, so everybody from moms and kids were coming to that place to communicate, to organize different events, and helped enormously. I think the community is that's something very important.
Yes, so you were in some way you were already helped enormously because you were not completely alone. And you said you started to act proactively after 3 months. What did you do exactly?
Yeah, I mean, I started to get out of my shell. I started to go outside to meeting other moms. We communicated by kind of fingers, and they were writing me each word, and I was coming back translating with a dictionary because we didn't
Yeah,
have a smartphones at that point yet. It was back 1992, so I had to really go for word to word
yeah,
translation. Then I wasn't afraid going start to communicate with other people, just again showing like a dictionary and a few phrases I was writing down in my little list of paper, holding in my pocket just in case to explain myself. And little by little that kind of was developing. So the wife of the master of the college helped me to find the teacher for English class,
yeah.
just like a charity support, because of course living for one student scholarship as a family, we couldn't afford any private classes.
Yeah.
So and then this teacher
So there
helped
was
me.
this charity class that allowed you
Yeah,
to learn English. Yeah, that
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah, absolutely. So you learn English, then you look for opportunity to do the part-time job. Then I had a was looking for opportunity to study. So when my husband finished his PhD, I started my PhD by then.
Okay. Okay. So
So
what was your background? What did you study in Russia and what was your
I had my bachelor degree and master degree back in Russia, and I did PhD in Cambridge
in
after
wait,
that.
what was
And
the domain? What
neuroscience. I am a biologist, and I started to do have like a part-time work in a lab in university, and I loved it so much, and then I said, well, I really would like to study there. So I had a good relationships with my supervisor, and he helped me to find the scholarship. So we applied everywhere. So I had a scholarship to do PhD. Yeah.
and so how did you find this first part-time job? Was it like through networking? How did you find this first part-time job before studying?
First part-time job, I had like 2 hours in the evening, like in the library. You have to take the books, you have to lock it down and everything. So it worked well for me because I had a small child, somebody need to take care of her during the day. So when my husband was coming back after his study, so I could escape for 2 hours. So that was my first part-time job where I didn't require to use lots of language skills, so I could do, check in, check out books, and I had a very good partner who was Bulgarian guy, and his English was good, and he explained me a lot. And even he didn't speak Russian and I didn't speak Bulgarian, because the language is similar, we just clicked, and it was
Yeah.
very similar. Again, I think that's a community, that's a support. When you feel people really
Mhm.
want to help you and support and share the experience, everything start to get in place. It's like a building foundation. So one brick here, one brick here, one brick here. Sometimes you put brick and it doesn't kind of fit or doesn't work, then okay, I will find another one.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So
what I will, and I do believe you were also very courageous just to look for the job and to take it and to trust that you would be able to do it. Because I meet from time to time expat women who says, "Well, I don't speak the language. I cannot do anything." Wrong. You can. You see, this is
yeah,
an example. You can do.
yeah,
There are always opportunities if you are open to them. And we even see Irina. She was a young mom. She didn't have any support because her parents were far away. Her husband was studying, and still she managed to find a perfect job that suited her like schedule, and she could start this part-time job in the evenings, not needing English necessarily, and she could do it. So that's for me, that's like a perfect example of what's possible if you just trust that there is a solution for you.
Mm. Yeah, I think until you try, you don't know, don't you?
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
think it was a good opportunity, and then you kind of, it's, people say, oh yes, I'm not confident enough, I can't do it. But sometimes you confidence comes after. You have to commit yourself to do something, and then you start to do it, and then you start to develop this confidence, which motivate you and push you further. And I think that's. If we just sit and wait for confidence, and I know myself, especially
yeah.
professional, I just do this course, I just read this book, I just do something here, and then I'll try because I don't feel confident enough. It never comes, because the
Yes.
confidence, such a things you just can't really describe this size. You just need to start to develop it little by little, and it comes through the action.
Yes, action and experience and skills.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Don't wait the moment you feel confident. Just try it right away, is it?
Oh yeah, and actually, I have a very good phrase. When already was in Switzerland, I was thinking about, how I can bring all my experience I gained before, what I can do in this country. So I moved to Switzerland after my husband 10 years ago already. Again, it was tough because different country, different language, different culture, and different age. When you're young, you just more
Yes,
spontaneously.
yes. You're open and flexible and you adapt very fast. And when you get older, uh, you have also different needs. That's not only that we are like more rigid. We just have different needs when we are in our 20s, 30s, 40s, or 50s. So that's definitely different.
Absolutely. And I think taking this into account, it took again some time just realizing, okay, it's a beautiful country, but I'm living here now. So what I can do? And I couldn't find the jobs I really liked, because you already become a sort of a more experienced, you know what you like. And when they want you to just do that way or that way, and
Well,
it's a
tell
little
me,
bit.
tell me, what was your experience before coming to Switzerland? What kind of job you were doing in UK? And
Yeah, so once I
what were you looking for when you came to Switzerland?
Okay. So in UK, I did. So once I finished my study, I did couple postdocs. Then I worked in pharmaceutical industry for 5 years. Then I worked in nutraceutical industry. I was a part of startup. So I worked in functional genomics on a genomic campus where all the human genome was discovered near Cambridge. So I worked quite a lot, and I developed passion towards sort of through the nutraceutical company. I was developed passion to sort of nutrition, because I always wanted to be actually a pediatrician, not the scientist. So
Okay,
my dreams, I wanted to be a medical doctor who is helping kids because they cry, they can't explain why they cry.
okay.
So, but somehow it didn't happen. So I went to university. I did my sort of a scientific biology degree, with elements of teaching biology and chemistry for the school children.
Hmm.
So that was my first degree. So, but with all the neuroscience and everything, and working in different industries, I just realized there is a many different possibilities.
Yes.
And of course, when you're also a mother, and if you go through that parenthood, and try to do your best for your children. And my second daughter had some health issues. I had to, we struggled with, and I
Yes.
realized that only my scientific understanding of some articles could be translated in the practical tools and used in a real sort of a
Mhm.
life. I could not listen the medical doctors, because they couldn't answer my questions at
Yes.
all, because obviously I had a tendency to ask many questions. Why this medication? Why this cream? Why this? Why this? Why this? And nobody just say, oh, just try it. I just tried. I said, well, I'm sorry, my child is not guinea pig. I don't want just blindly try what you give me. I need to understand what it is doing, what is the action, what is
Absolutely.
the side effects, and etc. etc. So once I started to dig into it, I realized there is so huge potential there to help anyone, especially children.
So you, in some
So
way, you came to your first love, to what you really wanted to do in another
yeah,
way.
exactly. But it wasn't the
Tremendous.
right,
Yes,
the sort of straight path. It was sort of a more, a little bit wavy, but also with more experience. So you're
that's
picking
it.
up
That's it.
many different
We never
ways.
lose time. Actually, sometimes it's like, oh, I'm losing time, but actually, you are gathering experience, and this experience will be so much needed and so much worth it when you start to do what you want to do. You wouldn't be the same person if you studied. To become a doctor, a pediatrist immediately. Maybe you would treat your clients, your kids exactly the same way the medical staff treats them, and with your experience and with your knowledge, with the research and all this stuff, you just could do in another way, which is wonderful. Let us go back to this part when you came to Switzerland. Which city and what kind of job you were looking for?
So I was coming to Lausanne, near Lausanne.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Morsch. So and I wasn't looking immediately for a job. I looked around. So and I wasn't sure if I really want to do, because I just didn't see what I love, because I tried so many different things. You have a great experience. I had a good connection with the Nestle science part. I visited, looked at them. Again, there's so many restrictions how they organize the work, and I was thought, kind of things. And then I just thought, okay, why I just don't sit down and start to brainstorm with myself what I know, what I can do, what I like to do. Because at some point in your life, as you said, you get so much experience. And when you have a full-time work, when you have a family to look after, when you have this kind of scenario we many have, like a running in a wheel, hamster
Yes,
running in a wheel, we don't
absolutely.
have the opportunity just to and reflect and think, what else, what I want to achieve actually in my life.
Wonderful.
So it was a interesting experience. So for one side it was really frustrating, because Switzerland is so nice but kind of quiet and beautiful to sickness, I would say,
Yeah.
and slow to like too slow. But then when you again accept it,
Mm-hmm.
magic start to happen. You just accept the situation and you say, okay, so how I can use it in my favor. So and then when I've started to along my long walks along the lake think what I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
what is actually in my heart, I got back to that idea. I want actually to work with the people, I want help them, I want especially help children, and I can do it because I've got some knowledge and experience, and I can, I can do study more and see what else I can do. But I
I
started
love that. I
for
love
that.
that actually because this is what happens very often for expat women. When we change country and we had already this background experience, everything, suddenly everything is new. And sometimes, even though we want to try to like to keep going in the old shoes, like to do the same thing, the same field, the same work, and sometimes it just doesn't answer, and there are a lot of rejections, and for me it's like, okay, why don't we use this time to readjust? And you did it so naturally. You maybe self-coach yourself by asking right questions. What do I
Hmm.
really love? What do I really want in my life right now? Okay, I'm a mom, I'm busy, I want maybe some more time for family, I want to be flexible. What was my dream actually? What do I really want? What does really make me feel fulfilled? And you just did it by walking by the lake and asking these questions and reflecting. And that's exactly the right step to undertake. So what happened? What did you discovered that you like to help people to
Yeah,
what
I it's like you have an idea, but you're really afraid actually execute it. And I'm
yes.
sure lots of your listeners in feel that. So that's why I think it's nice think what you do, because again it's encouraging people. So it's definitely was sitting there, but it's like, like a small itchy kind of idea. Yes, I want to work independent. I want to do what I want. I will develop my program. I want to go my way, but I don't know how. I'm really afraid. I always was working for somebody. It is a big company or a small company or organization, but it's always for someone. I don't know where to start, how to do. And when I started to look all this kind of business plan, the standard way of setting up your business, I'm not business person, I have to say. I really don't like all that, and
Yes.
obviously brought up in Soviet Union, I even don't understand what the money concept about. I'm not really that, it's not natural, and I'm not brought up with this idea. For me, money is okay for survival, but it's not essential, because my Soviet mentality, it's not something naturally comes to me.
Yes.
So I'm
Agree.
very sort of a just following your heart person. So and I was really put back with this idea, I need to write business plan and I'll do all this boring stuff. I just want to go and do my stuff. I don't want to write business plan. And I was so lucky to come across a couple things. First of all, I came across that organization, network marketing for Juice Plus. It's one of the supplements where I I just observed. I came there because I liked the product, and because I understand the nutraceutical products, it made sense to me to start to make some kind of connections.
Yes.
I just observed people, and I understand they actually can do that what they like, and with not working for anyone. That was my huge discovery. I really love this organization just because it gave me that idea. So it's like what you do for your listeners. They showed me that's possible. I said, okay, great. But obviously, it's too small for me. I just can't work with one supplement, even it's a good
Yes.
one. I'm still using it myself, but I won't address it much broader.
Yes.
So then I came across, again, in Zurich, they organized some kind of, I don't even remember what it's called, but it was like a entrepreneurial uh, meetup, one-day conference or something like that. So I just come across on Facebook. I spontaneously signed in, went to Zurich, spent weekend there. And the greatest message I had from there, it was act before you're ready.
Mm. Love it. Act before you're
Before
ready.
you're ready. And there is like the guys, the young guys, they're very so motivated and say, look, you don't need to write business plan. You just start to do little by little what you like. And when you again, and this is the it comes again about this commitment and confidence. If you commit to what you want to do, start to practice it, and then see, maybe you will come to this business plan if it's necessary, but maybe it's not necessary at all. Just start to do what you like to do.
Wow.
Well,
That,
to
that
help
are
somebody.
that are very easy that are very easy and concrete advices and doable, which is amazing. Just don't wait, act before you're ready. Start little by little what you like and see what happens. And this is amazing. This is so.
And this is what I
So did
started.
you?
I was really sort of a kind of
What did you start to do? What did you like at that time? What did you like at that time? What did you start to do?
well, I start to do little sort of a coaching programs for the people from sort of a nutritional side, because in the parallel, I completed my nutritional therapy
Mm-hmm.
diploma online, and I've started my service and just working with, especially with the families, with expats, especially with the children, and especially with the children with neurological conditions, because I realized, connecting to gut, to brain here,
Yes.
because I studied neuroscience, and the gut, which is the second brain, is hugely can impact the well-being of anyone, but especially kids with some kind of learning issues, lack of focus, concentration, neurological issues, because those kids experience lots of issues, toxicity, detoxification problem,
Yes.
eating problems, gastrointestinal issues. So, and I was meeting people on that way who helped me to develop this idea and also open another door. We started with one of my friends. We set up the association to support parents with children with autism and other neurological issues similar to autism. So we've got STARS Association based here in Lausanne, but we kind of not just in Lausanne, online, we function everywhere. So again, it's just opening your opportunity, and you have a chance to talk to other people, to parents who are looking for a solution for the help, and you keep adjusting and developing your service as you keep learning professionally, and as you grow your how's the audience and communication opportunity, you see what is needed, then you can really sort of adjust your service accordingly. So, and that's what I do still now. So I'm still a co-founder of Stars Association. That's my non-profit business. And I also run my own service to clients to provide my what I called healthy brain solution for children and for their families, because it's all interconnected.
So how do you work? Is it like a one-on-one consultancy, or do you work with groups? How do you work?
So I work on a sort of consultancy based, yeah, because it's important. But we also have as a part of the association and my own, I called, what is it called, genius network of professionals. So I always, like you do, I always bring the professionals who are working in a certain domain. We try to organize it in a like a platform, if you want, because we believe that, and I believe deeply. So it's not only one issue you need to resolve. So it's like a puzzle. You have to put the pieces in the right place, in the right order. And this is what, especially with the kids with neurological stuff. So we need to understand the specific blockages. I'm working with the biochemical blockages, with the nutritional blockages, but then there is many other blockages the parents need to address with their children, and that's what I can do. I can do the roadmap. I can start to sort and help them foundation, because without proper nutrients in the body can't respond to any great positive therapies, and then put them in a contact with other professionals who might help them to
as well.
Further. Absolutely. So that's what we do in association as well. We run free, or for members, for very small membership, micro classes, and we connect with the great professionals, especially based in Europe, because we found Europe is very fragmented. So we would like to have that kind of great support of local professionals, where you can reach either online or even jump in a car and drive if you need to, So that's what is important.
So if there is any family, moms or dads that are listening to us, and they see that their kids are problems, are hyperactive, or it's difficult to concentrate, or they have learning problems, disorders, where they can get in touch with you?
Yeah, so I just want if it's any fussy or picky eating, any skin issues, immune system issues, if the children constipated or diarrhea or any that kind of things, that's also shouldn't be hesitated, because again, it might be linked to the even symptoms you even don't understand. Very often hyperactivity, for example, linked to food sensitivities. That needs to be addressed. And what is important to understand where it's coming from, because if you're just going to address the symptoms like the skin issues and the runny nose and things
Yeah.
like that, it's not going to be sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's very important to do that functional approach.
Yes.
Functional approach is going to the root causes. So yes, I can share a couple sites. So my personal site, it would be dririnashurov.com, all in one word. And actually, there is a couple questionnaire that people can do for themselves or for their children if they just see like a little quiz. They want to see if their child needs any extra nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
And for association, it's starsassociation.org. So again, there is a website and there is an info email, so the people can reach us through that.
So this is basically for people who have kids with autism, or not necessarily.
Autism or any other neurological conditions, or they might suspect there is something going
Yeah.
on, but they maybe not have a clear diagnosis. There is certain maybe delays in development. Recently, I had lots of parents contacting me with the small kids who don't talk, don't speak. For
Okay.
example, 4, 5, 6 years old, but the speech is been delayed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also a part of the that kind of global blockage inside for whatever reasons, which needs to be investigated and addressed.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
we're also connecting with other professionals like specialized learning platforms like Aerosmith programs and things like that. So we try to provide parents with the support on every step. It's
Yes.
addressing issues, but also bringing the educational support.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love how everything is interconnected and everyone can beneficiate from support and also from network of each other, which is really, really like this is how it should work. This is how it
Just
should
you
work.
realize this is what is needed, isn't it? So like we started at the beginning, the first thing you need to find that safety network,
Yeah.
support.
Yes.
And expats very often don't have it because we're away from families, these are friends. And I found also Switzerland is a little bit difficult country to connect easily with like-minded people. So
Yes.
that's why if you already have a certain need and certain area where you would like specific support, that would be a good lead to find like-minded people.
Absolutely. Yes. I just want to know because you said you went from this Soviet Union where there was another economic situation, another political system, and there was not this experience of being an entrepreneur. And you said so at the beginning, what should I do? You didn't know how to create a business plan, and actually, maybe you did without at the beginning, and you just started to do things. Do you feel confident as a business woman in Switzerland today?
Um, I feel confident as a businesswoman in Switzerland because international community you can reach. I can't say I would feel confident as a just a Swiss entrepreneur because I really believe in international community and
Mm-hmm.
international exchange ideas and support. To be honest, I found, and that's why probably we do that interview with you. Switzerland as a country is a little bit very traditional, which has a absolute beauty in it, but also there is a little bit slow speed in what you can do. That's why I think you need to find your way
Mm-hmm.
to survive in this beautiful surrounding, which brings lots of positivity, but also kind of has a tendency to slow you down.
Yes.
And that's probably like a nice golden cage you find yourself. Yes, it's beautiful, what else I want, but there is a need inside because we all have a desire to be to be needed to deliver something great
Yes.
we accumulated as experience in
Yes.
our life.
Absolutely.
It can be very small, but the people, other people needs to see it and
Yes.
appreciate it. And in these little things you might do, like, I don't know, some people do beautiful handmade postcards or something like, can be life survival for someone, you know.
Yes.
And you just need to find the way how to execute it, how
Yes.
to deliver it to the people who will appreciate it and need it actually.
Absolutely. To
And
get it
that's
done.
why I think the community can help
Absolutely.
enormously. So just to start to explore, just uh, don't afraid to, first of all, accept this idea that you would like to do something, and then start to share that idea with the people you trust, or sometimes just the new people, and just see the reaction, because you will be astonished about this reaction.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you. You actually already answered my last question, but if you want to add something, that's very welcome as well. What would you recommend to expatriate women who settled down in Switzerland recently and who can meet obstacles? It takes time. They need to be very patient. What would you recommend them? If there is any other gem, because you gave us a lot already, what would you recommend them? How they can go about this to create a thriving, meaningful professional life in Switzerland?
I think every move to another country or to another, maybe even town in some countries or something, some relocation is given us for a good reason. So use that opportunity. Don't be afraid to accept that move and see what you would like to change in your life, because this is the good opportunity to restart something or get to another level, or get out of inside of you something you were hiding and didn't want to, you maybe even announce to yourself. Sometimes we little bit afraid because we think it's just crazy, it's just not going to work, it's crazy. Any crazy idea is not crazy.
Mm,
It means there is a space in your heart for that idea, and it means there is a good chance it can be a great project. It can be, you know, start small again as a project B, but maybe then it will become your main project in your life. So who knows? But until you try it, you know, you can't say for sure. So I think it's just, again, be honest with yourself and go ahead and reach for the other people. And I think your site is a great opportunity for people to start communicate with each other. And I would be happy to chat with anyone who wants to contact me directly. No problems at all. We always can meet either by online for a cup of tea, or actually for physical walk and a nice cup of coffee next to the lake.
yes. Thank you, Irina, for all your experience, for all your wisdom. I just remind what you said before. Act before you are ready. This little gem that you got at this meeting in Zurich, and also don't wait yourself to be confident to start something. Don't wait for confidence. Just do it right now. If you have any little idea, do it and build this confidence through going, through your experience, through just doing once more, once again, once again, once again. Thank you, Irina, for your time, for sharing everything. I'm so glad you came here. I'm also happy to see a mature woman with a lot of experience, with a just with even two moves, so twice being an expat, with these two experience, to see that you just made it. And it's so inspiring. And I do believe that other women can get inspired and make it too. Thank you very much. I'm
You're
Anna
welcome.
Saunders. I'm an inspirational songwriter and singer. I'm also an empowerment coach for women, helping women to thrive. If you feel stuck, if you feel alone, please get in touch. I have 45-minute free offer for you. Just get in touch. We will talk. You will share with me your story, where you are, what you want, and we will set up a plan. What are your next steps? So you are not stuck anymore, and you start moving and thriving. Just get in touch. Write me a message. Get in touch with me, and let us schedule a clarity session. Remember, you were born to thrive.